What's going on, everybody? Austin here, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at a recap of the divisional round between the Titans and the Bengals. I know it's a little bit late, but in the 2 weeks between the championship games and the Super Bowl, there's just no real football. The Pro Bowl doesn't count. So we're going to try to fill that space with some fun information, some of this stuff right here. So if you take a look at the score, the Bengals hit a walk-off field goal against the Titans, win by 3 right there. It was a tie game. And some interesting stats. You take a look. Joe Burrow, he was sacked 9 times in this game. Still threw for 348 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. Not a great game, but he did enough to get the win right here. Evan McPherson, probably the best player on the Bengals as a kicker that day. He went 4 for 4 from field goals and made his singular PAT on that Joe Mixon rushing touchdown. Ryan Tannehill, on the other hand, did just enough to lose the game. He threw 3 interceptions, and even though that last one probably wasn't his fault, it's still going to go down in the record books that way. He threw the ball, hit his receiver in the hands, face mask, wherever, ball bounces up, gets picked off, the rest is history, right? Ryan Tannehill goes for 220 yards, an amazing deep ball touchdown to A.J. Brown, who finished the game with 142 receiving yards, which, if you do the math, that means that out of Ryan Tannehill's 220 total passing yards, with 142 going to A.J. Brown, it means only 80 yards went to the rest of the team. It's not a lot. Joe Burrow, he joins Donovan McNabb as the only quarterback to ever be sacked 9 times in a playoff game and still win. Now, this game was really interesting to me. I believed Tennessee was going to win the game. I thought that with the return of Derrick Henry, there was just going to be too much. Mike Vrabel is an excellent coach. But as I mentioned before, it kind of feels like the Bengals here are the team of destiny. There's no rhyme or reason. They just have been making things happen. Derrick Henry had 20 carries for 60 yards. I think it was basically 3 yards per carry. Not a great game, not a great look. This, I think, pretty much seals Ryan Tannehill's fate, as the Tennessee Titans are definitely going to be looking to move on from him as soon as possible now. He was a guy who earlier in the season, he was performing relatively well. As soon as Derrick Henry went down, things weren't going great. But you would have thought that with Derrick Henry coming back, and the pressure getting taken off of him, things might have looked a little better. It's just not going to happen. One of the great things I loved about this game is after the Cincinnati Bengals picked off Ryan Tannehill for the last time and Joe Burrow got them up into field goal range, drove, sideline pass, got them into field goal range. Evan McPherson, underrated, just as swaggy as Joe Burrow is. He daps up Joe Burrow on the sideline, says, looks like we're moving on to Kansas City. Well, sure enough, he goes up, kicks it, 4th make on the day. So he finished the game in a game where the Bengals scored a total of 19 points. He scored 13 of them. That's a lot. Fantastic game overall, kind of a defensive battle, but I personally love defense. Some people don't. But yeah, so that's my breakdown. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe and share the video with your friends.